I was muted. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Red Wings Rant, where tirades and impassioned pleas for your Detroit Red Wings finally have a home. And so for, the YouTubers, you guys are going to see I was trying to be all angry. And I failed at that. I'm sorry. YouTubers will see that. Podcasters have only heard this.
Yeah, I like an ode to Tim Robinson's Jelly Bean character. I like that a lot. And I never talk. But yeah, welcome. Man, this is hot. We got a hot Red Wings team, and they got screwed yesterday, but they still look pretty good. A lot of fight. A lot of goals. Matt, my God, how many years in a row did we talk about 2.9 goals a game, and now they're peppering them in?
I mean, honestly, I know there's some things that happened last night, and it's something we do want to get into with throwing your stick on the ice or throwing your stick at the puck. But we've also missed the first 2 weeks of hockey. So let's back up, right? Let's take this from a macro perspective. Red Wings were losing this game, and that power play is so goddamn strong. It just brought them right back. But it's not right. It's not just that. But if you guys, let's do this real quick.
Yeah.
I threw into the chat. I'm going to share this right now so you can type it in if you're watching this later. Throw it in the chat again. Guys, go join that Discord. There's like 5 of us in there. Get on that.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, and Ketzel throwing in their 5-goal average is nasty. Filthy dirty. Talk about how nasty it is in that Discord. Ooh, yeah.
So yeah, guys, go join that. But I mean, DeBrincat, right? Jared threw in there. I think DeBrincat has a tum-tum. His tum-tum hurts. So
he's better get better because I'm going to that game tomorrow and Matt's going with me.
Yeah, we're going to the game. So DeBrincat better get that diarrhea sorted out because
eat a banana or something, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, come on, man. What the hell? I can hear my son screaming for me right now, just going, Dad! I'm gonna get in trouble with my wife. Mike.
Yeah.
There's so many like broad topics we can take here. I think the easy one is just to say, like, we were asking for finishing. You're right. Like, how many times we've been looking at this 2.9 goals per game and just saying, like, God, this is fucking terrible. And to the point too, like, we used to just play these games where it was like, all right, nobody get a shot on net because we can't do anything. And now we're actually in a position right now where we're just hoping, like, okay, let's just get that power play on the ice, and then DeBrincat will, DeBrincat, Larkin, they'll get us back in it, and it'll be fine. And forget the wins, because that is nice, but just from like a competitive standpoint, it's one thing, Mike. And this. Let's rewind the clock a couple weeks to when we had our "Do we want to be the Seattle Kraken" conversation. Like, there's a way that, and don't get me wrong, the Kraken actually had a pretty good shooting percentage, and everybody was scoring. Yeah. So I don't necessarily want to get deep into how the Kraken had success, but there's ways that teams have like snuck into the playoffs, and it is boring as hell, and they strategize a way to be successful for the team that they have, and they, again, limit scoring chances. Maybe their goaltending send them to another level.
Yeah.
This is not that. This is, I mean, if anything, we've had some pretty below average goaltending from Husso so far. Like, I mean, it is. The average is like 905 and he's at 897. So it's legit below average.
Yeah, I think you could ask a lot more of our defense for sure.
And we went into the season expecting that, right? But we absolutely did not expect this insane production from, I mean, Mike, we're 2 weeks removed from saying like 35 goals is fine. It's fine. And now he's leading the league in goals. What is he at? He's at like 8 goals now. And it's just, I mean, now the demand, I don't know. The demand for me is like, well, yeah, 40 goals are like, what happened between now and game 82. But, this is just, I don't know. From a broad
perspective, he's basically on an 80-goal pace, which obviously not sustainable. But it's not just him. We could look at the Ghost Bear, because my God, Matt, what a revelation that guy's been. I'm just not used to seeing. It's been a long time. Remember, we used to say that Mike Green was our guy, quarterbacking, the power play for the defense. And the Ghost Bear, he's like, no. Actually, it looks like this, and he actually scoring goals, and being a pretty important part of this team so far. And I know like DeBrincat is the easy love, because he looks like we have an actual goal scoring superstar. But I don't know how the rest of the NHL just said, Ghost Bear, nah, we're good. And he, just came over to Detroit on a bargain from, what he's produced so far. So yeah, that's the guy I'm most excited about for sure.
Well, like, how many times did we say too, like, yeah, you could bring in these guys that are specialists on one side and you have a coach behind the bench, right? Like we said, like, bring in some finishing, put these guys in the position to succeed. And Ghost Bear is just, I mean, I remember I was wrong. I wanted to split up Cider and Ghost Bear. I was like, no, they let each one of them quarterback, and putting Ghost Bear on the flank. Oh my God. It's amazing. The cross ice passes. I made a comment yesterday on Twitter of like, how many goddamn one-timers have we seen so far this season? I put out an arbitrary 600% increase.
Yeah.
But that's something I feel like when we watch the playoffs, and this is kind of where I'm going with this. But like, we watch the playoffs and you're watching the Lightning just go back, like across the ice with these one-timer passes. And it's just something that has not been a part of our game at all for quite a while.
Yeah, there's a huge difference between puck control on a power play and then like pressure on a power play, which is what we have this year. And previous years, it's like, well, we have the puck, yeah, but we're on the boards. There's no threat of a shot. Even if you did get a shot, it's on a terrible angle. These are all like high pressure situations, where the penalty kill for the other team is like on their heels. And my God, we just have guys who feels like they can score from any side of that ice.
Yeah, I there's so many great things going on, but I want to hear from everybody that's come aboard today.
Well, Matt, for the record, we do have a few comments. Fritz823, welcome aboard, asking, are we saying Ghost Bear as a nickname or just saying his name wrong? We know
Ghost Bear's a nickname. It's Gostus Bear. Jesus, come on. Where is that? Where's Fritz?
It's Fritz. Yeah, he's in there. Yeah. Curtis with a nice roast saying, "Ooh, looks like Matt found the Zoom button." You are a lot closer today, Matt.
Yeah, the setup's different. Nobody you don't like talking about
Nobody likes how the sausage is made.
Yeah,
but we can roast you real quick. And then Dan B had a receipt he's been saving for this episode. Someone in the chat before season said it's supposed to be a sneaky good pickup. I wish I knew who. I know I was pretty excited, Dan. And I know you were too, buddy. You definitely were.
I think this group of like this group here, we were all pretty happy with that. And we all, it came with the asterisk.
Red Wing fans. Yeah.
It came with the asterisk of like, let's make sure that he's in the right position to succeed. And he absolutely is. Yeah, if you sign, oh, sorry, Fritz, if you sign Gostus Bear, you gotta make sure he's not, you have a face-off in the defensive zone. Get his ass off the ice. And that is to a T. That is exactly how Lalonde has been putting him out there. At least the last I checked the stats. I don't know how things have changed the last 2 games. I haven't checked it. But I saw it that one time and I was like, okay, cool. I can say this on the show now. But that's what you got to do. And even if it wasn't that, yeah, focus on the power play. Just let him be there. I don't care. Give him 6 minutes a night. But if it's 6 minutes on the flank on the power play, oh my God, does he look so good? Fethtar, yeah.
And Blake, he kind of has a receipt coming my way. Veleno should have 5 goals right now. That's how good this has been. Even Veleno looks like a goal scorer, man.
Yeah,
I'd given up.
So I'm going to throw Fethtar's comment out there. This DeBrincat guy is pretty good. So Veleno and DeBrincat are both carrying like a 40% shooting percentage right now, which was always the percent we made fun of Tyler Bertuzzi, like when he had his hot start a couple seasons ago. And we're like, well, I can't keep this going. So we know DeBrincat's shooting percentage is going to come down. Certainly we know Joe Veleno's shooting percentage is going to come down. It's just right, like, we don't want to make this a downer of an episode to start talking about how this starts to even out, but it's a lot of points for DeBrincat. But we've also, like I already mentioned, our starting goaltender hasn't been super great, so you'd like to hope that it's going to even out in that direction. And when you go up and down this lineup, so we have what we have up right now for the YouTube viewers, but podcasters, I'll just sort of explain it to you here. Obviously Larkin and DeBrincat at the top of our point scoring. So what you got to do is find like who is going to keep the scoring going, right? If DeBrincat has a couple of off nights, who's going to get this ball rolling? Right now, Lucas Raymond's sitting at 1 goal. There's a guy, easy peasy, has had some shots ring off the post. You know, as we saw last night in overtime, he could have 2 goals right now, and the Red Wings would be on a 6-game winning streak. Kind of think Copp's got a little too many right now. Comfort could do with 1. We could grab another goal from one of these defensemen. Yeah. But yes, yeah, that is a fantastic one. And Seider, surprisingly, too. I feel like we're giving a lot of props to Larkin, DeBrincat. I mean, all deserved, Gostisbehere, but I feel like just kind of sneak it in there. Seider at a point per game pace. And I'm gonna say, like, I know he's been able to pull in multiple points before over multiple games. But, you know, over 7 games at 7 points, I feel like this is the first time we're looking at like an extended amount of games and seeing Seider perform it or production wise be at this high of a level. Cause we know he can carry a defensive pairing when it comes to like having to drag around a Ben Chiarot who's doing much better this year. I will add that as well. But yeah, we know Seider's going to be Seider as a 2-way defenseman, quarterbacking the power play, but it's just not his game to just bring in apples, put the puck behind, hit the back of the net. What am I missing?
I still think about that being like testicles. Yeah, like he comes to the rink, brings his apples, good go.
God damn it.
But Jared throwing in. He threw in another rib at your expense, Matt. Matt tells people to join Discord, proceeds to ignore it. But I did want to throw in Jared saying, I knew Hall wasn't as bad as Toronto made him out to be, but color Jared impressed.
That's one I'm really looking at to see bottom out. I mean, we keep talking about his plus minus is my problem, and I thought we decided that stat didn't matter anymore. So I'm worried about that one. Sort of circling that as like, you know what? That's fine. Your third pairing guy is playing amazing right now, and we're looking at someone who may bottom out in a few games here, or even in the next game. If I'm circling him, certainly I'm doing it with a pencil. But also it's fine. It's third pairing guy, so it's okay, and I think that's great. So it's one of those things. Like I'm still sort of expecting it, but I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. And then just one more, because, I just want to get a few name drops out here. Ketzel saying Raymond looking for a new hockey stick. And if my voice goes, I'm sorry. I'm still getting over some sickness over here. Fethtar thrown in. I like Sprong and a healthy Fabry would help. Yeah, I'm curious if DeBrincat doesn't go, who we get tomorrow. Does that mean that is it Fisher and Costin? Are they guarantees?
I guess it.
Or do we get a shot at Berggren?
Oh, Berggren.
So you can have double bears.
Berggren played in the last game. So I got to figure he's in there. But if you're losing to DeBrincat, I don't know if you're where else you could look to fill out this lineup that is currently in it and played in the last game and is healthy.
I could think of a 6'9" guy that could bring in for a cameo tomorrow since I'll be in the house. But
yeah, I was kind of thinking in that direction too, but I know we're not going to get that. So it's like you're just going to build a first line of like Perron, Larkin, and Raymond, which is not my favorite.
Quite as exciting.
Yeah. Well,
I literally would have taken illness from any other Red Wing. I just wanted to see DeBrincat in person. That's all I wanted.
I'll say this, that my comment I made at the beginning of the season was a playoff team has Perron on the third line, and these first two lines have played so well. Like the second line has identified itself as like this first line stopper. Comfort, Copp, and Rasmussen, give us the first line. We got them. They're telling that narrative during games now. So you get to push Perron down to the third line. That's a name where we're trying to identify like where the goal's going to come from. Perron has the 2 goals. Also, both of his goals right now are game-winning goals. Pretty cool. So he's scoring when it matters too. The crafty veteran. And that's, God damn it, that's what it's always been about with Perron with me. Like I've always been like, oh my God, yeah, I don't want to trade him. I want him on my team. But that's where, again, you know, if DeBrincat has diarrhea, if the shooting percentage is going to start to drop, where are the goals going to come from?
Yeah.
And the point of me bringing all this up is it's just I'm building confidence in this lineup, at least with what we've seen through, you know, not 1 game, not 2 games, through 7 games. I'm seeing some spaces here where we can make up the goal scoring, no problem. And I don't even know if we mentioned Sprong yet. Who where's he at right now? I'm going to say only. I'm attaching only to this, but only 2 goals. He's got 5 points, which is a lot for a guy who's playing bottom 6, but only 2 goals. And this guy, we've seen him rip it all the way through the preseason. And I don't just mean like, this isn't, no, his 2 goals so far, what's funny, I feel like they're, you know, Chris Draper off the teeth kind of goals. Yeah. If we all remember Draper's off the teeth against the Dallas Stars. But no, those were his first 2 goals with us this season. I remember like people tweeting like, "Oh my God, I knew Sprong was going to be this good," and then it's like, no, it accidentally went in. Did you see Sprong's face? So what we haven't gotten yet is Sprong ripping one in with one of his shots, like we saw in the preseason. So that still has to come. And again, the only thing I'm saying here, I think the whole point I'm coming to was that I think you absolutely have to expect DeBrincat's shooting percentage to come down 1,000%. Joe Veleno, not coming down 1,000%, but 1,000% it will come down. Might come down 1,000%.
I didn't think Joe was going to score 4 goals this season, so I'm pretty impressed that he's got 4 already here.
Very true. But yeah,
Crimson Shadow coming to my aid, saying the fact Veleno has 4 was not on my bingo card.
That's a good one. Good one, Crimson. So yeah, I think right now we get to see all these good things happening, and we can tie these threads of like, oh, there's still a lot of guys that could put some pucks in the back of the net who haven't done that yet. So the hockey gods have their plans of what's going on for the Wingdings. And we've outscored teams quite a bit too. What are we at? Like plus 14 right now in the goal differential. Yep. We don't need to lead the league in goal differential. So yeah, the goals can come back. You know, we can have that shooting percentage for the full team come down and still find some wins here. There's a lot to like here. There's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of things that we could see do worse than they are doing right now, but so many different spots where we haven't seen them even come close to what we believe their average would be for the rest of the season production wise. So guys, I think the conclusion I'm coming to,
maybe that playoff percentage likelihood isn't 0.
Correct.
Maybe we can be the Kraken, just like Matt always wanted.
Yay! But we wouldn't be sneaking in, right? We are like kicking the shit out of people right now.
Yeah, we are playing really well. But also I want to throw in Dan B, because I also get to pat you and I on the back. He's saying it's interesting how things work out when you slot guys at the right level. So he's piggybacking off of, a playoff team would have Perron on the third or fourth line. And we've been saying this for years. Like, it's not that we had bad players. It's just that they're not in the roles that they should be in. We had a lot of guys who should be in the, middle or the bottom six, and they were, getting 20-ish minutes a game on the top line, second line. And this team just looks so much better when they have actual leaders on the first line and guys on the second and third line who should be in those roles.
Same thing with those defensive pairings too. Like, talk about depending on Chiarot on the first pairing. And it's not really amazing top to bottom, but like going back to Jared's comment before about, we just have Hall at a better space right now where, I mean, we have guys that can eat up. If we needed to, Seider could eat up 30 minutes in a game, no problem. And Hall is going to be in these selected positions where now we're seeing him, I mean, moving the puck extremely well too. And if that's what we're doing, like top to bottom, with the defensive pairings, is just trying to figure out, maybe Seider, we see he's, -3 right now. Maybe he does get a bulk of his workload. It's just going to be in the defensive zone. Cool. That's where we trust him. No problem. And then these other guys will they'll be in position to put more points on the board. We'll be very happy with their production, and they'll look really good on even the advanced stats because of the choices that Lalone is making for when they're on the ice. But that's always been the option. So why not take advantage of that? So yeah, I love that comment from you, Dan, putting guys in the right, not only like at the right level, like the right line. I like it too. Like, these are the guys that Lalone has to ice a team, and he's got to put them out there for success. It can't just be this. I don't know if any coach has ever said this, but Mike, I know you and I like grew up like hearing this, from other sports fans that were around us as we were growing up as children to teens to adults. But you got to play them. You're paying them that much money. You got to play them. And I just don't like, for sure, Chiarot is on the ice. But you're not like going out of your way to give him 30 minutes a night. You're using him in the right way. Even Gostisbehere. He's up there too when it comes to the defensemen that are getting paid right now.
Well,
put him in the position to succeed. You're paying right now to have these guys score at these extremely high levels. And then again, everybody knows how critical I've been of the Copp and Comfort contracts, but you combine those two guys together, you're paying $8 million to shut down your opponent's top line when everything's working the way it's supposed to. And that's not a bad thing. Maybe taking 2 goals off the board every game. I mean, again, those guys are in a position to succeed. If that's what that line's there for, right now, perfection. So maybe a lot of this too is like, yes, we added guys, but Lalone's doing a hell of a coaching job, and that Jack Adams. Is that a bowl? Could that bowl fit on his bald head? I don't know what the Jack Adams looks like.
The other thing I wanted to touch on is we had a few more comments come in. As far as opportunities coming in, and Clamp Sauce. I don't think we've ever had Clamp Sauce on before.
Clamp Sauce has been on before.
Maybe it's been a minute, but welcome back. He's just thrown in there about the Zebras trying to hand the game over to Seattle.
Yeah.
And I think to an extent, that it was a hot whistle. But I think our 5-on-5 play probably could have been a little bit better. I think when that's a little bit better, then you don't, accept yourself to getting penalties called against you. So, I mean, I think what's encouraging is sometimes it felt like when the Red Wings had a little hot burst of, of victories in the past couple of years. I don't know if I want to use the word luck, but maybe it was just like everything was like clicking at the exact same time, like timely goaltending. The defense was doing well, and we managed to get a few goals in.
Oh man! Or how about like
talking about like this season?
Yeah,
you mentioned it that our offense is clicking, defense a lot to work on. My voice is gone. the goaltending definitely leaving a lot to be desired. So it's not like this team is clicking on all cylinders. It's just one facet. And we're doing so well.
No, you're right. I mean, the conversations used to be for us like, well, eventually, Nedeljkovic and Husso are going to be shutting teams out night after night and pulling these goals saved above expected that are leading the league. Like that was our old conversation. And that always feels like when you're winning games that way, it doesn't feel like, pure goalie dominance is the most relaxing way or a fun way. You know what? You as a Red Wings fan or as a hockey fan, you're just not carrying yourself with a ton of confidence because that puck can bounce so many different ways and get past the goalie. But there's something about watching these games and just hoping like, oh man, like that's a 4, we got a double minor coming up. We could get 2 power play goals right here and legit not just thinking like, oh, good, we're on the man advantage. It's like, oh, sweet. Like get that first power play unit out there. Let's put one in and see if we can get a second one. Like that's fun. That's amazing. And we haven't had that sort of the thought process for 7 years.
I know. And real quick, Jared thrown out there. Where'd that comment go? I'm starting to wonder if it's just Matt and Mike on a video call right now because Matt forgot to hit broadcast. But also pointing out, because he's pretty good at throwing ribs out there. Just realized the page hit 900 subscribers.
That made my heart like drop, but I was like, wait, we've had questions going back and forth. Like,
yeah, no, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We've earned these 900 subscribers. But yeah.
Yeah, no, thanks for everybody coming aboard. I didn't know if I wanted to mention it because it felt like I was asking for like more subscribers on like Twitter. Like, hey, thanks for 900. I guess this is more appropriate. I am happier to say it on the YouTube channel, but you guys are the best because you guys are already here. I don't know. I'm trying to get away from like the marketing side of this podcast. I just want to talk to you guys and just talk hockey and just bullshit. I hate. Oh my God, do I hate like the brown nosing on Twitter or X or whatever and all that bullshit. Yeah. Like, oh my God, I just love when you talk about hockey. Duh, duh, duh. And it's like, God, give it a rest. Like, can we just fucking talk hockey for a minute? Sorry, that's what I want to be for you guys. So let's okay. Just want to throw that out there.
There's some Robbie Fabry ribs out there too. And Jared, I'm sharing like 3 Jareds in a row because he made me laugh. Because it's been noted pretty frequently. Poor Chewy. God is not a fan of Chewy. I don't know why he keeps doing all these awful things, making him sick all the time. Got the defibrillator healing pretty fast, which is great news. Plugging away. And Jared saying, Chewy, you spend less time on injured reserve than Fabry does. Oh, that's probably joke of the episode. Thank you, Jared.
Chewy, I've been on IR for 9 years.
Yep, Fabry still got some catching up. Yeah.
Chewy, we love you, man. I hope you're doing okay, bud.
I know, man, for sure.
But
should we do some business and then
yeah, it's a good
right
call.
Back?
Yeah. The NFL season's going strong. Mike, I don't know if DraftKings does some fantasy football. I don't know if you've checked our fantasy football standings recently, but somebody's catching up. Anyways, DraftKings Sportsbook is one place to do all that fantasy work. I'm sorry, DraftKings, you could do fantasy work. The Sportsbook, you could just go in and bet on sports. You don't have to play these silly games with picking players and whatnot. No, just go in there and say you're picking the Lions to Give the Lions a plus 40 against the Ravens. Get in there and customize your bet.
How about the Raiders?
No, because we lost to the Ravens.
Oh, I see.
I said a plus 40. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway. Yeah, the Lions are on Monday Night Football. Anyway, bet $5 on any game this week to score $200. DraftKings isn't stopping there. All customers can take advantage of a sweetener offer every game this October. Discuss an upcoming game. All right, we did that. All right. Get in on the game day greatness. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets when you bet $5 on the NFL. That's code THPN only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY. In Connecticut, help is available for problems gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, licensee partner Golden Nugget, Lake Charles, 21 and up, varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Oh my God. Whew. Guys, just go bet on DraftKings if you're gonna bet. You got money from us. Go do it. All right, thank you.
Wow. That was a great time, Matt. I think that's everybody's favorite part of the episode. I was gonna throw a performance art out here. Who not only was he telling us that he was in Venice, he brought up the same humble brag again to remind us he was in Venice, Italy. So performance art, very happy for you. And Chewy, we are so glad you're here, and I'm very happy to know you as a friend and a person. And Blake, breaking some awful news, Matt. We get Reimer tomorrow.
I mean, he's been good. He's got like a 967 save percentage.
I know you don't want to see him.
I'm gonna wear the pride tape tomorrow. I'm going pride tape. Can we talk about that real?
Yeah,
is the NHL dumbest fucking league on the planet? Like, we'll talk about this. So I have the video up now to talk about how terrible their officiating is.
Like pro pride gestures there are by giant corporations. Like, they don't give a fuck. They just want to sell a T-shirt with a rainbow on it. And all the NHL had to do is go, yeah, we'll make money off of this. We'll exploit this as well. And they're like, nope, not today.
How about
there's a huge uproar of people going against it. Okay, we'll take it back. It's just, what a poorly managed league.
I don't know if you caught this, but all right. So I forget who did pride tape, who the NHL player. Maybe I can look this up, or you guys can throw it in the chat. So the NHL gets this situation put in front of them after they ban pride tape. Somebody uses it, and it's like, okay,
Travis Dermott.
Yeah, Dermott. Travis uses it, and now it's like, okay, we said it's banned, so now we have to punish him. And clearly, like, they were going back and forth, and like, oh my God, we can't actually punish a guy for putting pride tape on his stick and just speaking to a cause, just like we did last year when Reimer was like, I'm going to speak to my cause and not wear it. And they were like, good for you. Speak your
performance art says truth. They should ban straight tape.
Now there's so many problems with this, but maybe my top one is that this just becomes like you were saying, but this just becomes this bullshit of a PR move where the NHL's like patting themselves on the back for reversing their decision to ban pride tape that didn't even go with their dumb decision last year to let people just speak their mind, like do whatever you want.
I haven't seen a company this like openly stupid since the WWE. When they were like, you know what, it's time we gave women's wrestling a chance. You were the ones holding it down. You fucking idiots. You were the ones booking the matches. Like, we finally let women break through. What a dumb message. Anyway.
So, continuing the idiocy of the NHL.
Yeah.
Mike, we got this one last night. I don't know if you can see that video, but Oli Mata, he's got a wide open net. He's going to rip one. Why not? Right? Why not throw that sucker in the back of the net? Oh, because the Seattle Kraken threw their stick. and Mana couldn't get the shot off. By the way, if you haven't seen it yet, the Mickey Redmond work here on the teleprompter, there's the ref right there. How do you not see that? It was such a great, head on over to our.
Almost as egregious as that blown call was Osgood trying to kind of support it or be like empathize with the referee, be like, oh, well, from that angle, maybe he thought he dropped it, or, it was such a, political play on his part to see, like, they're not going to fire old man Mickey at this point. So when he's done, I'll get the job because I'm doing a diplomatic approach to this announcing game. So I was pretty disappointed in Ozzy.
And I'll say this. I have zero rants really about this screwing us over last night, because it is pretty cool that we still came back and like made it 4-3. We screwed up in overtime, but how many posts did we hit? And it's just like, okay, shoot, that's just that part of the game. It stinks, but it was a fun game to watch. I thought I got more of the type of hockey that I'm excited to watch here with this team. DeBrincat and Larkin just going off. I didn't really hate this game. I am just so fucking tired of this bullshit of these leagues. And I know there's groups of folks that will watch the NHL. They definitely watch Major League Baseball. And there's too many people that will not let go of the bullshit tradition of officiating. There's got to be something here to make these fixes, because this is just too fucking dumb. If Ozzy's argument, and he could be right, if Ozzy's argument is just about the missed call, then what the fuck are we even doing with this bullshit? Why are we playing this game? We're doing like officiating theater. Like it's sports theater here. You have to have a guy wearing zebra stripes out on the ice. You have to have an ump behind the catcher in baseball. You got to have those assholes throwing yellow flags. Could it be more theater to take a flag and, I got to throw it to say there's a penalty, instead of just blowing your fucking whistle and penalty? You don't have to say anything to the camera. Ball moves back. Done. Like, that's sport. No. It's a huge fucking theater show. And yes, we love entertainment, but this just, there's so much wrong. And how about the number one, the peak of the mountain, Mike? Fucking traveling in basketball. Oh my God. And I can't tell you what's worse, because I think everyone and their mother who's never even seen a hockey game knows not to, like, you can't throw your stick. Like, this should not be missed. But just in all of these sports, of all the shit that all these officials get wrong, and maybe the traveling is the incorrect one to bring up for basketball, because really that happens on every single possession.
Yeah, I mean, you could do like holding on an offensive lineman, or pass interference, and no, I think just this idea that they feel like the league is going to collapse into itself if we dare to criticize the referees or ask that they do better. That's what it is. Like, there isn't really accountability. Like, this guy maybe he'll get coached. Maybe he'll get to referee like one less playoff game, something like that. But I mean, it's like we can't even review a terrible missed call, because it's like that's not an option. You know what I mean? You can, review a goal going in, whether or not it made it, before a millisecond. But God forbid we go, hey, you completely missed this call. Can we please throw like a challenge flag or something on the ice?
Right.
It's not an option, because these guys, they're not allowed to be like scrutinized, because for some reason they're like the representation of the league as a whole. So they don't want it to look like, they're, open to criticism. It's wild.
That's why I labeled it as like theater, right? Like they're like, this is a part of the show. And it's just, I mean, we've benefited from it. It feels like, probably every sports fan base
It
feels this.
doesn't
but it feels
make
like
me
we've
feel
been
good
fucked
when we
by it
benefit
more.
from it.
Yeah.
It'll be moments when I'm a baseball nerd. There's still a few of us out there, guys. You're on a hockey podcast, so you know about nuanced sports fandom. And I watched my beloved Ronald Acuna, who's an excellent baseball player, strike out on 3 balls, way outside. That's just how that's in this that's the core of baseball is that it's we allow human error to dictate it when it could be better.
Yeah, I mean I follow an Instagram account that basically just rags on Angel Hernandez, and it's like, how? No, we're not supposed to like make him this character in this game. And granted, the Instagram I don't have a problem with. Like they're highlighting like this guy fucking blows, but like you'll watch a broadcast and they'll show in the broadcast like this is how many misses Angels has had this year, and it's like, but it shouldn't be a goddamn thing. It shouldn't. And I don't want to get into like the sports betting aspect of it, but that's too much control in one person's hands for a game that I don't need it ever. And I don't know. I guess this is a plea for a couple of things. It's just like we can't let this be about the game. Like be about this specific game. I'm looking at my screen up here of the highlight. Yeah. We can't let this be like make us angry about the game. We have to be angry at the league. We have to be angry at the actual game of hockey. And the way the NHL has mutilated it. That's what has to make you angry. And that's where if we keep complaining, I feel like we're going to do something, because we used to not have challenges and now we have challenges. Like, that's not perfect either. Don't get me wrong. I know nobody likes the 5-minute offside reviews.
Yeah.
But I mean, God damn it. They're giving us this new analytics system through the NHL where they track all their fucking skate bursts. This guy had 20 skate bursts in this game. Who fucking gives a fuck? Get this goddamn call right. And you have all this technology to measure guys' skate bursts and to measure how hard they can hit the puck. I don't give a flying fuck. Get these goddamn calls right. They're so easy, and it's just a hand raiser. Just like, hey, that wasn't the right call. And then you fix it. I think in minor league baseball, they have a new system. I don't know how low this is in minor leagues, but I saw it on Instagram where ball and strike call.
Yeah. They're automating that. They're trying to get a robot to do it.
Exactly. So you could challenge it, and they have it 5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, they're evolving some of these rules, right? Where when I think basketball started doing it too, where they're finally going to get rid of flapping. There's a new flap penalty where you give up free throws, and it's really funny that they have to define the second time we're going to use this word theater. They have to basically define what does it mean to flap. So you have to judge how far back the player's body goes after a contact is made, if their arms are kind of going about, in kind of an exaggerated manner. But yeah, I mean, it just means that, there can be change. There are small changes.
God damn it, Blake.
I would just like this one to be at least recorded and noted, especially because, the score was 5-4 yesterday. So yeah. nine shots really mattered. This could have been a positive one for the Wings and one less goal for Seattle. And that's a game. So it seems like a small thing, but it's a microcosm of a bigger issue that you're not allowed to, really scrutinize these referees and have them, kind of answer for what happened, or at least, find a way to, God, I don't even know how we would set it up in hockey. You'd have to almost do it like soccer with extra minutes in that period to actually, we're going to go back and, I know we could do a penalty shot or a penalty, but it's that kind of wide open opportunity is gone now.
I don't even think it would be the worst thing in the world to copy the most popular sport on earth. Yeah, I don't know. I think we all know, Blake's throwing out there, mistakes make hockey great. I honestly do not believe that in any way, Blake. I think I watch hockey for the speed, the shooting. Yes, I do like the hitting. I do not. I don't see a ref fuck up a call, and I'm like, oh god. Like I don't look across the room at Mike, and I'm just like, that's fucking great missed call right there. Oh god, yes. I know it sounds like I'm coming in my pants right now, but I'm just oh my god. I'm almost lost mentally right now. Yeah, exactly.
But a name we haven't heard a lot from, a Kranji. Had a couple.
Yeah.
Where's it?
Well, he threw in there. It doesn't matter that Seattle
NHL
scored.
Followed up too. The NHL might look at that situation for a rule change in the future. Yeah, that's the important part. At least kind of getting some communication that they're like, we would like this to not be recurring. This is fixable.
It is. Challenge, right? Okay. Now we go back. When they come up with all these rules for challenges, why do we always wait until it happens? This is why the league is so broken. There's no conversation about like, well, what else could happen? That guy's thrown out of the room. They're like, we have 5 minutes to make this decision. Do we want to challenge it or not? And there's no like, oh, what if, blankety blank happens? What should we look at these other things that are also in the rule book? What if these rules need to be challenged? And it's just like, well, we haven't seen that happen in like 10 years. So why would it matter? It's like, the conversation is like, well, a ref's not going to miss if a guy throws his stick. Like, we don't need to worry about that being challengeable. Like, it's just, that's just more evidence of how broken this league is.
No, it's one play in one game, but maybe we can kind of look at silver lining of this where we actually give a hoot because, our team looks like they could actually do something, with these wins. So, this is one that it would have been nice to have 2 points instead of just the 1 point.
Bike says, keep hockey human, please. It is human. The humans made the rules and they don't know how to judge them.
No, I mean,
Jim throws out there, blown call should be reviewable.
I mean, it doesn't mean you don't you remove the complete human experience. Like I still back up my own car, but there's a camera now in my trunk so I can see if there's, animals or small children back there. Yeah, I think that's an improvement on what I can physically see out the back of my car. So just saying.
Yeah. I mean,
so, not the end of the world. It's just kind of a bummer because this team's doing so well. It would have been cool to get both points. But do we have a teaser at all for? I know we didn't even get into your slides, Matt, that you actually put effort into. But
well, Jared asked about this earlier. I have a couple takes on this. That the NHL voted to decentralize the draft. So
what does that mean? Like they wouldn't have representatives all in the same room?
They wouldn't. So just like in the NFL, like, you see that video of like Dan Campbell celebrating when they draft Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
They'll be there. Steve, Chris Draper, make another draft pick that doesn't make the roster, in 3 years. They'll make those decisions in Detroit. Instead of just being on the floor in an arena. So Jared asked earlier, what do we think about that? I have a very cold take on this. Mike, basically the NHL and the GMs have decided they're going to be like every other league and do the draft at home.
I mean, that's fine. I think the most fascinating thing for me is something we'll never get to see. I do like seeing the cameras, when the picks are made, but it would have been really cool to get some audio right before the picks are made so we could kind of hear some of the discussion about who we're picking, why we're picking. Oh my God, this guy's still available, or listening to like a live trade negotiation on the phone. So
could you imagine like a trade not going through, and Steve's just like, oh, fuck. All right, Simon Edmondson, I guess.
So that part is appealing to me. So if that gets us one step closer to being a fly on the wall, not your scenario, if it gets us one step closer to hearing live trade negotiations, or like, a couple of scouts kind of trying to, sweet talk Steve into picking player X or player Y, I'm here for that.
Yeah, my thing is people have mentioned like the remote draft took like 8 hours when they did it during COVID, which that's bad process, bad management internally. Every other league can manage to get that right. I don't know if that's on the fact that it's centralized or decentralized, but my cold take is I don't give oh man, I don't give a
a mouth
fuck.
fart.
Yeah. I'm fine with it. Like do whatever. If it make like one of the reasons that was thrown out there is like planning for signing restricted free agents, getting ready for free agency can be better structured if they're not worried about traveling as well, which I think is pretty weak sauce for complaining, but it's a legit, you know what I mean? Like it's weak from like the perspective of like, well, come on, just pull up your bootstraps and get it done. But also, why not? Like just give them, they could do it from home. Like I also would love to be remote at all times at my job. So yeah, if they want to be remote, let them be remote. All right, go for it, guys. I've never watched the draft and gotten all warm and fuzzy because 12 Red Wings go up on the stage and hand a jersey to Nate Danielson for him to just like stare angrily at the camera like that. What did we do? We just made fun of him, and who knows how that changes when he goes up there and shakes hand with just Gary Bettman or something. I don't know, but like that's not going to go away, right? Like they're still going to copy the NFL and have all the kids in a room, and then they have to go up there and get a hat and jersey from, Gary. But I don't know. It never really was that special to me that Steve was up there. It's fine. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm good.
Cool.
Do we got
What else do
anything
we have?
for our teaser for the Jets?
Nope. Just this cool picture. Oh, we never talked about this. Like,
flying over the boards.
no, this is Rasmussen and Kachuk going at it, and just.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, this was important for like this team where we're trying to figure out like, oh, is this team for real or are they sus? And this is a huge piece of evidence for me. This is something that stands out as like we knocked Kachuk's teeth in literally and destroyed them in that game. In a game you absolutely had to win, and it was in Ottawa. By the way, check out Lalone like trying to look over Rasmussen's shoulder. Get him. This is a huge moment. I also want to talk about too, like we were talking earlier about Sprong's goals.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really get a lot of opportunity to talk about what we've seen from like DeBrincat and Larkin and like scoring like hockey goals. And how great that feels to not just have these guys leading in points, and it's just like, they've had a couple of good ones bounce off their feet and go in. Like it's been legit. Like DeBrincat's like, no, tee me up. I'm gonna grip it and rip it, and this is going in the back of the net, especially that power play goal last night. But just a couple of light things to touch on as more evidence, I think, to be excited about this team. And like when we were 2 weeks ago talking about like certainly the Lions let us down this past Sunday, but there's still enough there. I'm not really like worried about the Lions playoff chances. Like the Red Wings have done a lot. And think about how many games have the Lions played, and we have to like make assessments.
Oh, yeah, just 7. Yeah.
So we're at the same amount of games. Mike, you can make the argument the Wings have almost been through 7 games, comparing those two teams, that the Red Wings had a better start. The Wings have either dominated or been right there in all of their games. They
I
have
feel like
not.
the Lions have had moments where, and Lions have obviously played a larger percentage of what's left of their season. And the Lions have had games where they clicked on all cylinders, where their pass rush was working, offensive line was working, running the ball, play action working. It's kind of cool that for the Red Wings, like we harped on earlier, they haven't quite clicked on all cylinders yet. They've just been scoring goals. So it'll be nice if Malone could kind of figure out a way to tighten up that defense a little bit and see if Matt's favorite goalie tomorrow, Reimer, can put up a donut or maybe just one goal or something.
How much does Reimer hate Travis Dermott? I can't. Oh, good call by Dan. Like, we do have our game coming up tomorrow. Dan calling out there, Saturday's game at Boston will be a huge measuring stick. That is going to be fun. What's the time on that? Is that going to be like a nice fun like matinee? 7:00. All right. Well, no worries. 5-1-1 Red Wings. Hopefully 6-1-1 against undefeated Bruins in Boston. Yeah, we got that. No problem.
Yeah.
No, that one's gonna be trouble. I'm a little scared of Boston right now. I feel sad because I did exactly what I did last year and said Boston was gonna have a slow start, and they're not, and it's scary. And they're getting depth scoring now. It's like fuck. It's like Pavel, was it Zaka or Zacha? Zaka scored last night. It's just like, damn it.
I just can't find a clean way to pull this up, so I'll just have to bring it up in the next episode. But we are at just about an hour here. Let's try to see if we had any other little nuggets. No, I mean, I just really I'm so encouraged because again, this is a fun product right now. It is so dependent on the power play, scoring at ridiculous ratios, and the Red Wings averaging 5 goals a game. But yeah, I'm just really encouraged to watch more and more of this product, Matt. And it still feels like we have moves to make. So we could still bundle a few guys. We still got room in that cap sheet. This isn't over. This isn't over.
I fought with myself to bring up the Patrick Kane conversation where we're on the top 3 teams left bidding for Patrick Kane. And they said he wants to make a decision in early November. So I fought with myself to talk about that today. And then I also fought with like, when do we start talking, which is silly, right? We shouldn't. We're not going to talk trade deadline stuff, but we could talk like the concept of it and how close we are and how it's like, all right, these things have to go right.
Do we wait till we get through 10 games? Get through an 1/8 of the season?
We should probably wait till January. We want to wait till January. We're still in a pretty good spot. Like, think about like how good this team looks right now, and if we could add another guy to that second line. I mean, we're really in that conversation right now. If this team consistently keeps up with where we're at right now, it's like first line figured out, good, done. It's like the top line of the league. It really is. I've dubbed it the perfection line because of the cat.
We got it, man. No,
you guys, I was so I was purring, DeBrincat, cat. Like meow. Those are the last 3 letters.
I feel like it's
in his name.
Thursday at like 11:30 at night in Pacaputo. Yeah, I don't know if you heard. I did a sound like a kitty cat. They'll purr. Get in your lap, and everybody loves a good cat. I like this DeBrincat. Go ahead, call 97.1 ticket and go to commercial.
Pacaputo here with Randy the Macho Man.
My favorite thing is when he says we're going to commercial.
Oh, you missed I was making fun of your impression. You just sounded like the Macho Man.
Pat
Caputo here, yeah.
Yeah, Caputo's ready. Yeah.
rises to the top. Oh yeah. Have you
Um,
checked out Dudesy yet?
No.
The Will Sasso podcast. Oh my
Oh,
god.
I did watch those clips. They were pretty funny.
He is so good. He's still got it. He seems a little depressed, so I would go watch it and support him so that he can have some money. He's certainly not done anything to like
The Jesse
be
the
healthy.
Body Ventura when he's talking about the
Oh
Ding
my
Dong
god.
Awards. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
good.
The ding dong. I can't even come close. Yeah, guys, go listen to other podcasts. Just kidding. All right, I think we got to wrap up. We're running out of stuff to talk about. We've got a whole season to talk about trade deadline, and
And we'll be in person tomorrow. Anybody else going to that Winnipeg game, say hi. And I'm sure Matt will be live tweeting it for everyone.
To a point. When I'm at the game, it's hard. But yeah. Oh, we didn't even talk about Frozen Frenzy. Did you watch any of that?
I did a little bit. Tuesday's D&D. I'm sorry. We played D&D yesterday.
My laptop like burned out. I got a warning on my hard drive. Like I had the Frozen Frenzy going, the Wings going, and then I also was like taking screenshots of the Wings game.
Yeah.
I got the notification like your hard drive is malfunctioning, and my laptop's just going like blowing the fan at 200%. Apparently I can't do it. I don't have a strong enough system here to watch a Red Wings game plus Frozen Frenzy. So I got to figure something out by February. I think that's the next one. But I would grade it as the idea is an A. I think the execution on it gets like a C plus because I don't know who likes him. Buchagras is
I don't want to discourage. I just don't want to discourage his creativity. I thought this was a cool idea.
It is.
Like the NHL's
idea
definitely at the back of the line when it comes to something cool. Wait. Oh, everybody's okay, come on, everyone. We're going to be cool now. Yeah.
What would it like it for the NBA? What would the Frozen Frenzy look like? Just every shot, just changing every second. We got another bucket.
That's something March Madness does, right? Where they'll have games every 15 minutes. Yeah. So the NBA tried to do that a little bit, and then they're also going to start doing a mid-season tournament.
Well, not just the 15 minutes, but they would cut to goals like NFL red zone. Like if a team gets in the red zone, see if they score a touchdown. I'm just saying if they
bucket for bucket. Yeah. They could probably do it and trade it off into crunch time.
The bucket bonanza as opposed to the Frozen Frenzy. All right. That's a good one to end on.
Yeah.
All right.
Best joke of the episode. Thank you.
Thanks for coming along, guys. We'll see you guys next week. I think our schedules are free again.
Yeah, and I think my voice will be better next week. Go Wings!
Go Wings!
Go Spare!
Playoffs!
Ooh.
Man, what if we lose 4 games between now and next Wednesday, and
It'll
we just
be
get
a radically
shellacked?
different episode next week.
Could you imagine? Oh man! All right, let's see what happens, guys.
Can you imagine if it's like the past 5 years? No.